Hi, my name is Tiffany. Welcome to Latah Valley Fiber Co. podcast. This is episode 31, and if this is your first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I have quite a few projects to catch you all up on. It's been a couple weeks, so let's just go ahead and do that. I have some finished objects, my husband's socks, as well as some things I'm working on continuously. So let's get started. A few things first. You can find me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. I post kind of my progress on certain items up on that platform. If you want to check out my shop, you can do that at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. And what else? Oh, if you want to email me, lvfiberco@gmail.com. It is a lovely October here. I'm drinking coffee, although it's sunny and almost 50 degrees. So why am I drinking coffee? I don't know. It's fall weather, kind of. Okay, let's start with some finished objects. I have a couple, and then one I'm thinking I might need to work on. But the first finished object, it's called the Abstract Rhombus by Rose Hiver. It's this lovely pair of socks. These are for my husband, and I finished both of them. They're kind of shorty socks, which means they'll just come to the top of his shoe. I mostly followed the pattern, although there are a few differences. Namely, once you've done the heel, you're supposed to bring this pattern that's on the front around to the back, and I didn't do that. I forgot it on the first one, and so for the second one, I just made it the same. These are DK socks, so I think I cast on 58 or 64 because they were my husband's socks stitches. I did my shadow wrap heel, and what else? I think that's it. The yarn is from Malabrigo. I will list it below the colors. So, he's happy. I told him I finished them earlier this week and said, you'll have to wait until I show them on the podcast. So he will be excited to wear these tomorrow. Because of the color work, they're actually pretty squishy. They have a lot of just squish to them, which I think he'll like a lot, especially as we go into these cooler months. So again, Abstract Rhombus by Rose Hiver. And I have talked a little bit about these in a couple of the past episodes. So if you want to get fuller details, check those out. Okay, one pair of socks down. The next pair is the Hokey Pokey Socks. Oh, here, let me use this. By Drops Design. And I had some trouble with this one, truthfully. A couple of things. You can kind of see how loosey-goosey they are up here. The stitches are the same, but once you stop doing color work, they tend to, they're also not blocked, so they're kind of wonky. Okay, this pattern, first of all, I'm using my own hand-dyed yarn, both of these. So Latah Valley Fiber Co. Hand-dyed yarn in natural colors. I use plants and that type of thing, plants and bugs actually, to dye with. So this was my first one here, and I followed the instructions. However, because you're doing color work, I either should have gone up a needle size or two, or added more stitches. Because the heel on this one, I continued the color work like I was supposed to, but the heel is very tight and there's not a whole lot of give. I don't even think I can block it out. So what I'm going to do is cut the heel out and pick up the stitches and then do what I've done with this one, which is just one color of the yarn. Did my normal heel, shadow wrap heel. And then once I picked up for knitting in the round again, I just started the pattern again instead of, because they have you go all the way up like that. And I like that, but I should have known to up my needle size. Rookie mistake, I tell ya. So this was the first one I did, and after realizing, okay, I did try it on. It's really tight around my heel, and I don't think blocking will help. It's too tight. So I am gonna snip it, and I thought I would do that with you guys here. Just trip, and then pick up the stitches for the heel and do an afterthought heel, which I have done those before, but I might have to watch a tutorial on it. Okay, did I follow the pattern on everything? Oh, I did have to do an additional repeat because I used fingering weight for this pair of socks, and that would have been like, they only had one size. So I had to figure it out myself. So the original pattern had two of these going up, and I had to add an additional repeat. I don't know if you can even see that. Should I show you the pattern? It's a free pattern, so I can probably show you how it, well, I don't know if you can actually see. You maybe could. Right there. So I had to add the additional repeat because my foot is is normal width, I would have thought, but yeah, an additional repeat. And then I did make some modifications at the top with the design. There was a design, oh, at the top, what did I, oh, there was a Latvian braid across the top. Instead of this, a normal 2x2 rib. And I didn't want to do the Latvian braid on this particular project. So I skipped that and just did my normal. Yeah. So, got to weave in some ends. And I need to fix this heel. So this is kind of a finished project, but not quite. I still need to go back and do a couple things. So, I did want to show you that though. Wool yarn is a wonderful thing. You can knit, knit and then cut it off and pick up stitches and just move right along without worry for the rest of it to all fall out. So, I wanted to show you a little bit of that. So I might do that here in a few minutes. Let me talk about a couple other projects that I'm working on. I'm going to start with my blanket. I have a friend who is having a baby girl in February. And so of course, as soon as I found out she was having a girl, I wanted to do a baby blanket. I am using Bernat blanket. Not the thickest one that they have, but the second thickest. So I'm using 3, losing stitches. I will just stick that back on there. Okay, so the one thing about this blanket is I didn't have the correct needle size, so I think it called for a size 17, US 17. I have a US 13. Yeah, US 13. So I wanted the denser fabric, which, yes, it's dense. Because babies, you know, you don't want them to get too tangled. So she can stick her fingers through, but that's about it. I have done the blush pink, and I've added the black. So it's very squishy, and I think she'll love it. So I was going to do 3 colors. This, the pink, I used the full skein, and I may just do the pink and black. It'll be pretty big, and I don't want it to be ginormous because it's a baby blanket. And while I'm working on this and setting it on my lap, it's pretty warm. So if I go too big, I don't know. I do have one more color that I bought. It's a cream, and I was going to put it down on this end. So cream, pink, and then the black. But we'll see. It might just be the pink and black. And I don't know what her colors are, but I thought this looked really cute together. So that's what I went with. So the one thing about working with large needles and big chunky yarn is your hands. They hurt. I must have purled this. I'll fix it later. They really hurt because the movements are so much more exaggerated and you're kind of cranking a little bit more. Anyway, I do like, oh, I forgot to say, I am not using a pattern. I am just knitting and then purling. So the front side is the stockinette stitch, and then this is the purl on the back. So this will be the right side of the work. I don't even remember how many I cast on. I have this on a cord, so I just went the length of the cord. Yeah, no pattern. I have seen that you can finger knit these, and that may actually work a little bit better. A little less work. You just lay it on the table, and I watched a video. And in hindsight, I should have done that. May have done that instead of on the needles, because it's just a little too rough on my wrists. So I'm having to take that easy. Okay, so that's it for the baby blanket. It will probably be done in the next 2 weeks, but I will show the finished project in a couple weeks. Okay, let's move on to the scarf that I'm making for my mom. Or scarf? Yeah. I am making a scarf for my mom, and it is a free pattern. Let's see here. It's called Jill's Shawl, and it is by Lisa Overby, and it's just super cute. It's 2-color, and you start at a point, and then you do like this increase in the middle. Oh no, it's a decrease. It's a decrease in the middle, which causes the yarn to look like this as you're going up. And so at the end, there's 2 tails. And, oh, needle. I am using my own hand spun yarn for this. Here's the pink. This is what's left of it. Now the pattern says to knit until your secondary color is completely gone or stop beforehand. So I had a skein of this. So I am going to just finish it up so that I don't have any leftover hanging around. And then I'm going to finish the scarf in the gray. Aren't these pretty? These are very pretty together. So I'm going to finish. There won't be a whole lot left after this, but I do have another skein of this. I'm gonna see how long it is. Once I block it, we'll see. Anyway, I showed you last time I was down here. I was just about ready to start the pink. So you start with 3 stitches and just increase and decrease. And then here's the pink added. Ta-da! So, what do you think? Oh, it's gonna be so warm. So the gray is alpaca and merino. Oh, so cozy. Yeah, this will keep my mom really warm. And this bright pink will just brighten up her wintry days. So that'll be fun. Should look really nice on her, actually. Bright pink. And the pink has shimmer to it. So I had spun this. This is merino and stellina. The shiny is the stellina. And I had spun this out of a mystery bag from my local yarn shop, Paradise Fiber. So that was kind of fun to use that. I wasn't really sure how I was going to use it because it's not quite my, like the color's okay, but I don't really like the shimmer myself. But I think mixed with this gray, it's just a very nice contrast and beautiful. Yeah. So that is Jill's shawl, again by Lisa Overby. Yep, Lisa Overby. And you can find it, I'll post a link down below. So this one also I should have done by next week's podcast, so I'll be able to show it to you before I give it to my mom. Actually, will I? Maybe. We'll see. I hope so. I hope to have... I know I'll have it done, but whether or not I show it to you before I give it to my mom, that's a whole nother question. Okay. I am going to slip that needle in there. I'm missing a few. I'm teaching a friend how to knit, and so that's been really fun. Some of my needles get... I noticed I had a couple in my purse. Okay, so I need to put them back in my case. All right. This one I am so excited about. This is the Magnolia Bloom by Camilla Vad. And I am knitting it with my own hand-dyed yarn, as well as some knit picks. The colorway is called Mirth. Knit picks. I can't remember. I'll put it here. But it's their mohair, basically. So this is my... I'm starting a new cake for the sleeves. So this is my hand-dyed yarn. This is called Purple Heaven. And it's DK. And then of course I'm adding it with the mohair. Oh, oops. I lost my stitch marker. Hope that wasn't important. Okay, where's the front? I don't know. And you'll notice it's very similar to the color I am currently wearing. I love this bright color. What do you think? Look at the stitch, the magnolia flower. Oh, it's just beautiful. And of course this isn't blocked yet. I started this. Did I show it on my last podcast? I think I started it the day after. So this is a very fast knit. I've already done the ribbing at the bottom. I am following it to pattern. This one, I could not get gauge. So I just decided to go with it. And if it doesn't fit me, I'm going to gift it. And maybe use it as an example. I'm going to do a market at the end of this month. And so I may use it. I kind of wanted to use it as an example. But I have one sleeve on hold here, and I've started the other sleeve. And I ran out of mohair. I didn't realize that Knit Picks mohair came in 25 grams instead of 50. 50 is standard. And so that kind of surprised me that I ran out. So I had to order more, and I ordered enough to finish the sleeves. So yeah. So I love this pattern. It was so addictive. The lace work and the little nups they were so addictive. I just knit and knit and knit and kept knitting and knitting and knitting. And then when I got to the end of the lace work, I was like, oh, I loved it so much. I don't want to be done. But it's good to be done, because then you'll have a sweater to wear. So, yeah. So that's my Magnolia Bloom by Camilla Vad. I highly, highly, highly recommend this pattern. I don't know what you could do if you had mohair sensitivities. You could probably use Surrey silk. Although Surrey, it's a little thicker than mohair. So you'd have to adapt for that. But, yeah. I don't know if you can tell, the nups they don't stand out super like, nups, you know. So I was watching Taylor Earl talk about how to fix those on a couple episodes of hers back. And she had gotten it from somebody else. Can't remember who. So I might link that episode of Taylor's where she demonstrates how to make them. You pull a stitch from the side that's kind of loose, and you loop it over. Now, I did try and make them as tight as I could. I mean, when I came back around, it was really difficult because I'd cinched it up really good. But they kind of fade into, into the lace. So, I love the sweater. And the color is just right up my alley, as you can tell. Okay, so is that it? Yes, I just need to finish the sleeves, and then I'm going to wet block it and see if I can make it grow a little bit. I feel like it should fit me. It might be snug. I've held this up and people have kind of gone, it seems small. But, you know, you want to be able to see the lace detail, and so you kind of have to block it out and then down, you know. So I think it'll fit. If not, I have other plans for it. Okay, so that's it. Magnolia Bloom, Camilla Vad. Highly recommend it. It's kind of a popular pattern right now, or was it last year where everybody was knitting it? I feel like I'm a little behind on the times, but yeah. Okay, that's it for knitting. That's all I have. That was a lot. So while I'm waiting for my yarn from Knit Picks to finish up the Magnolia Bloom, I am going to start the other pattern that I got from her, and that is the Field Sweater, also by Camilla Vad. And this one is a pretty relaxed fit. It's got this grain detail on the top, and actually, having done the Magnolia Bloom, I'm like, yes, let's cast on all of the lacy stuff on the top. Will be, yeah, I'm pretty excited if you can't tell. So I'm going to go downstairs and pull from my shop some yarn to do this. I think this is DK weight. Oh yeah, that's right. This one is knit in cotton, alpaca and cotton. I'm going to do wool. So I do need to figure out what size yarn. I'm pretty sure it was DK when I looked at it. And then the Agnes sweater, also by Camilla Vad. I am going to spin the one color. This, she has it in this kind of maroony brown. I'm going to use a green. And so the sweater starts with a black collar, and some black detailing throughout the color work. So I am actually going to cast that on as well. But this sweater, I'm spinning one of the colors. So I probably won't actually start this until January. It's kind of my thought on that. A couple more things before we start mending that sock heel. My sweet husband has gotten into leather working. And so he's making me all kinds of leather accessories for my knitting. This is a DPN case. He hand stitched all of this, and he's very gifted. Who knew? So he has come up with a couple other things that I wanted to share. This one is a needle, I don't know, it's a case, a needle case for your mending needles, or your, you know, your needles to weave in your ends. He made the pattern and everything, so that is really nice. I have been using like this, these needles come in a case of like 5 or 6. And they're like stuck in plastic. And so I've been using that, and it's been fine. But he saw that he thought I might like this nice leather one. So what do you do with scraps? Here's a fun one. The other one, he actually did last week, and I forgot to show it. I was so excited about all the other leather that I forgot. He is also making cuffs. And these cuffs are for shawls, specifically. So I'll show you how to use it. Cuffs are out there. People know all about cuffs. But if you don't know about cuffs, let me show you. I have this scarf. This is the Ramble Shawl from Andrea Mowry. And my hair, of course. I knit this a number of years ago. But basically, shawls can slip and slide off, and one way to keep them on is by adding a cuff. Did I get it? There we go. So you add this cute little cuff, and you can either hide it, you know, down like that, or you can show it off. But anyway, the cuff prevents the tails from falling off your shoulder and then your shawl falling off onto the ground. And believe me, that has happened. I knit this out of my hand spun 100% alpaca, and so it has a lot of drape, and it just starts to fall as soon as I put it on. So I'm very thankful that my hubby made this for me, this cuff. So that's what those are for. These will probably be coming to my shop at some point in the future. I do have needle cozies from him on my shop. If you want to check that out. They are made out of leather, and he hand stitches them. There is one on there that's pretty colorful, and it is made out of leather, but then there's also some other product in it that makes it kind of shiny. So you can check those out at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. Okay, I think that's it. Shall we get on to the sock repair? That'll be fun. So, I used to be very stressful about losing stitches, dropping a stitch. I used to be very stressed out about it. And now I'm just going to cut this off. I don't stress about it at all. In fact, I think it's kind of fun to problem solve and pick up the stitch so that it looks like the rest of the fabric. I am kind of tempted to just cut like this, but I think I want to go in on the side and go up and then cut. I don't know. Does that make sense? So I'm not having to cut through 2 layers of fabric. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, ready? Yeah, that's a little easier. That way you've only got one, I don't know if you can see this very well, one section of fabric. Okay, there you go. It's split open. And now I'm just going to cut, just like that. And then I'm going to do, I don't know, could you see that? Maybe. I'm going to do an afterthought heel. Okay. Bloop. Oh, holding on by the last stitch. Okay. So now I'm just going to come in along here and pick up the stitches and pick up the stitches. And then I'm just going to do an afterthought heel. And as you can see, the stitches, they didn't like immediately start to unravel. They're still there. So I'm just going to go in, pick them up, and fix that heel. So I may show it to you next time. I'll also maybe post some pictures on Instagram so you can check out the progress there as well. Okay, that was kind of fun. All right, is that everything? I think so. I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, enjoying your whatever it is you're doing. Hopefully it's some sort of crafting, because that's always fun. So I'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a great day.